welcome back to C2 Novel and Vocab Week 20, and this video is for our novel. For this video, we'll be going over difficult phrases from our very thick novel, and this is to help with your cultural fluency. By becoming familiarized with different slang and colloquialisms, students will be able to relate to the novel and incorporate these phrases to convey their ideas more precisely. What does that mean? It just means I'm going to teach you some phrases so that you can understand the book better and maybe use it in your speaking as well. Today we'll be going over the one and only Ivan, and we'll be going over chapters Jambo or Jambo to the one and only Ivan. For the first one, please turn with me to page 64. Page 64 was part of the chapter Jambo, and I want to start from the very beginning. Are you ready? It says, I'm not in a position to be picky. Once upon a time, Stella begins, there was a human boy. He was visiting a gorilla family at a place called a zoo. What's a zoo? Bob asks. He's a street smart dog, but there's not much he hasn't seen. What does street smart mean here? So as you know, we have smart with book smart, where we're academically good. We can, do our vocabulary workbook and our vocabulary tests. But there's also something called street smart. What is street smart? So a person or an animal like Bob who is street smart is good at surviving and solving problems in the real world, especially in difficult or dangerous situations. It means knowing how to handle things outside of school or books. For Bob, this means he's clever and knows how to stay safe on the streets even though he hasn't seen everything. So he's not very book smart, meaning, good vocabulary, reads a lot, of course, because he's a dog, but he's street smart. He's kind of cool and he knows how to survive. So this phrase is used because Bob has lived on the streets, and so he's learned how to navigate life without being cared by humans. However, because he's never been to a zoo, this is out of his experience, so he doesn't know what it is. He doesn't read books about it, so he couldn't learn that way. He needed to experience it on his own, which he hasn't. So much sun coming in. For example, someone who knows how to cross a busy street safely or handle strangers may be called street smart, but someone who's good at math and gets 100% on all their tests, they would be called book smart. Two totally different types of smart. So what do you think you are? Are you book smart or are you street smart? Maybe you think that you're both. That'd be great. Next one. Let's go to page 69. And let's start from the very top on page 69 under our picture of Ruby. It says, I'm glad for Stella, but when I glance at her, I see she is not glad at all. Stand back, everyone, Mac yells. We've got a new arrival. This is Ruby, folks. 600 pounds of fun to save our sorry butts. This gal is gonna sell us some tickets. So what does it mean here? Sorry butts. Am I apologizing for my butt? Not that. Sorry butts. Here. This phrase, sorry butts, is an informal but humorous and fun way of saying that they're in trouble or in a bad situation. Mac is just joking that Ruby's arrival will save them from their financial problems by attracting visitors. So they're saying that, oh, Ruby, she's gonna save our sorry butts. We're so pathetic, but she will save us. This phrase shows that Mac's casual way of speaking and emphasizes the desperation of the situation. He's relying on Ruby to have a more successful business. So you can say, hey, if you're in trouble and someone helps you out, you might say, hey, thanks for saving my sorry butt. So say that you're about to trip and fall, but then someone catches you. You can say, oh, you saved my sorry butt. Thank you. Not many people use it, but you can try. Sorry butts. That's why I have all these people who are a bit sad in our pictures. Next one, let's go to page 73. Ooh. I'm going to start from the small stanza after the big one where it says Stella ushers. You there? It says Stella ushers Ruby toward her domain. Mac and the two men follow. At Stella's door, Ruby hesitates. Mac gives Ruby a shove, but she doesn't budge. Doggone it, get a clue, Ruby, he mutters, but Ruby isn't moving, and neither is Stella. Mac grabs a broom, he raises it. Instantly, Stella steps in front of Ruby to shield her. Get in the cage, both of you, Mac shouts. So, doggone it, get a clue. What does that mean, doggone it? Is there a dog that's gone now? Doggone it. This is an old-fashioned way of expressing some frustration, not being so happy or annoyed. Similar to saying like, darn it, or oh no. Here, Mac is frustrated that Ruby isn't cooperating and getting into the cage. So here he's saying doggone it as a soft and less angry way to express his feeling, saying that, Ruby, come on, get in there. Darn it, why aren't you going in? Doggone it. But what does it mean here? There's two. Get a clue. Get a clue. What does that mean? I have a detective over here on my right, and he's looking at some footprints. What does get a clue mean? This phrase means figure it out or understand what's going on. Mac is telling Ruby to understand what he wants her to do, which is to get in the cage. So, say that. Someone keeps asking you the same question over and over again after you just explained it. You might say, come on, get a clue, to suggest that they should understand it by now. You're like, don't you understand? Get a clue. So it's not the nicest thing to say. However, if you did explain yourself over and over and over again, and you don't want to say it again, maybe get a clue would be an appropriate thing to say. Or say that you forgot your book at home, or you forgot your homework at home. You're like, doggone it. That could be something that you can say too. Just some cool, cute phrases that people used to say a long time ago that we see in our book here, which maybe you can also say in your everyday life. Let's go to page 89. Oh, I know the feeling of this phrase. Let's go to page 89. I'll start from the very top. Everybody there? It says, I'll take care of it, George sighs. Mac turns to leave. Before you go, Mac, George says, you might want to take a look at Stella's foot. I think it's infected again. Darn thing never does heal up right, Mac rubs his eyes. I'll keep an eye on it. Money's tight, though. Can't be calling the vet every time she sneezes. George strokes Stella's trunk. She inspects his pockets for one more time, just in case. So here, money's tight. As you can tell from my pictures, what do you think money's tight means? Is money tight? Like we can't stretch it? No. As you can see, all these people, they don't have money. Money's tight. So here, this means that there isn't much extra money to spend. Mac is saying that he doesn't have enough money to afford all these visits to the vet that they're going to every time Stella's hurt. It shows that Mac's financial struggles and how it affects his ability to take care of the animals. So remember, we just read that he's so happy that Ruby's here and that she's going to save their sorry butts. But money's tight because they don't have enough money. And he can't help Stella every time she gets hurt or that she's, her foot is infected because her foot's already been hurt. So say that you say, if your family has to save money and can't spend money on unnecessary things, you might say, money's tight right now. So say that you wanted the newest, I don't know, what's the cool thing these days? Teeny Ping? Is that too young for you guys? I think so, sorry. Say that there is like a new scooter, okay? And you guys really wanted to buy it. You're like, Mom, Dad, I really, really want to buy it. Can you please buy it for me? And they say, money's tight right now, Kimberly. We can't afford it. Meaning, we don't have enough money. We're trying to save right now. We cannot afford it. So, sometimes, or maybe that your friend is asking you, can you buy me some spicy rice cake. Can you buy me some tteokbokki? You say, I'm sorry, money's tight. I spent all my money last week. So this is something that you can always use just when you don't have enough money sometimes. Money is tight. And let's go to page 100. Page 100. Let's read the last two. It says, I wonder if Mac could add a little red hat and a curly tail to the picture of me. Maybe then more visitors would stop by my domain. I could use a few oohs and ahs myself. Oohs and ahs. So one of our vocabulary words were coo, right? To say in a soft and loving voice. And we say, aw, so cute. So that is what oohs and ahs is. Here, Ivan wants some oohs and ahs. He wants some people to come in and say, oh, he's so cute too. This refers to the expression of amazement or admiration or lovingness. When people say ooh or ah, it means that they're impressed or amazed by it. So Ivan is also wishing for the same attention that Ruby is getting. So he also wants to be a popular attraction and have people come to his domain or his cage. It shows that Ivan's longing for the days when people admired him and thought that he was special. But now he feels a bit ignored. So when is some time that you said ooh and ah? A few weeks ago, there were a bunch of fireworks at Gwangan Bridge. When we see beautiful fireworks like that, we may say, ooh, ah, so cool, wow, to say how amazed we are. Oohs and ahs. Maybe you want some oohs and ahs, because maybe you got some oohs and ahs when you were younger, but now you don't these days. So maybe we want them. I want them. I want someone to say, ooh, ah, when they see me. Just being silly. And our last one. Ooh, this one moves. Everyone say forklift. Forklift. And let's go to page 115. I'm going to read this whole chapter because it's so short. It says 5 men. Bob heard from a rat, a reliable sort, that they tossed Stella's body into a garbage truck. It took 5 men and a forklift. So unfortunately, if you know what happened, Stella is no longer there. And it took 5 men and a forklift. So what does this mean? A forklift first is a small vehicle used to lift things and move heavy objects. So here, it's called a forklift because it kind of has these 2 prongs at the bottom and it goes under and then it lifts it up. But here I just wanted to show you why we use this word here. It expresses how big Stella was, right? It took 5 men and a forklift and this machinery to lift her body into the garbage truck. So unfortunately, it's quite a sad situation here. But yes, don't worry. It's not the end of the book. We're still halfway through and there's going to be a lot better things that will happen later. This was a sad part, but I did wanted to emphasize that now Stella is no longer with them. Now time for the mission. Our mission is, how many shows are there that feature Ruby and what time are they? It showed that here at the Big Exit 8 Mall that there were shows for Ruby and that people came, you know, they ate popcorn, they said some oohs and ahs. But what time were they and how many were there? Please remember to write your name, class, and week. And now it is time to review and self-study. This is for contextual mastery, so please review the phrases again, read it out loud, and reread the novel where these phrases came from to fully understand the beginning, middle, and end of when these phrases are in there. After that, you can go ahead and complete your novel homework. Hopefully these videos are helping you. Don't forget to do the mission. Again, as I said in my last video, the person who has done the most missions this whole semester will get a big grand prize. So thank you for joining me again this week, and I'll see you guys next week.